Hey there, Dr. JP Guidry here. I want to touch a little bit today on how to approach training for power. Um, and sometimes this gets misconstrued when we're doing power exercises, and I have to have these conversations a lot with clients of, trying to go heavier, trying to do more reps when we're trying to truly train power. Really, our goal is just intent and high intensity, and making sure each rep is maximum intensity. So generally our power exercises are going to be jumps, medicine ball throws, Olympic type lifts. We can obviously take a squat, a bench, things like that, and make it a power exercise. Usually what we're going to be doing is a lighter load. We're going to be trying to move the ball as fast as we can, move our bodies, as fast as high as we can if it's a jump type movement. The way we want to approach this is we want to keep the reps low, we want to keep the volume fairly low, and we want to keep the intent very high. So we're going to do sets of maybe 3 to 5 of these exercises, but we want to make sure every rep is 100%. So we're trying to slam that ball as hard as we can, move arms as fast as we can, throw the ball, if it's a medicine ball, throw as fast as hard as we can, jump as high as we can. If it's a barbell based exercise, move that bar as fast as we can. There are ways we can kind of track some of these things. Obviously, if it's jumping for length, it's a lot easier. If it's jumping for height, there's different kind of mechanisms. I have a jump mat here where I test on and track on. There's things like push bands and things where we can track medicine ball, different medicine ball throws sometimes, the speed of that. Obviously, radar guns, you can kind of do that as with. Or you can kind of throw these things for distance where you're tracking, trying to throw it as far as you can. The same thing goes kind of with speed specific training. If you can have some feedback on that, great. So when we're doing speed training with a golf club in our hand, I always try to have some kind of radar based feedback. It doesn't have to be the top notch radar, it just has to be the same thing every time. And we're using that up to drive intent. So you're trying to drive that number up with every swing. We're keeping our swings low. Again, in that 3 to 5 rep range, and we may do, let's say, 3 to 5 sets of that. We're going to have longer rest in between, so maybe 2 to 3 minutes of rest in between each set, because we want to be ready to go high intent. The goal of power training is not cardiovascular exercise. It's not to get your heart rate up. It's not HIIT training. It's not, again, trying to maybe keep throwing heavier and heavier balls. We can add some overload to that, and that's fine. We jump with weights, we can do that, but we're still very low in comparison to strength training. The goal is to move the implement as fast as you can, or to move your body as fast as you can with the greatest intent. So we're trying to jump as high as we can, we're trying to throw as hard or as far as we can, and we're trying to move that bar, that weighted implement, as fast as we can. So keep this in mind. The goal is not, this isn't cardio. You're not trying to sweat, you're not trying to get your heart rate up. You're trying to build your body's ability to produce power and to move, move some kind of a resistance as fast as possible in the shortest time possible, or to move it for the longest distance possible. So, keep those things in mind when you're doing your power training. Low reps, lots of rest, high intent. Each rep needs to be 100% intent. If you have any questions, reach out to me, johnpaul@guidrypt.com.